What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, okay, making their debut on the channel tonight, we have Hammerhedd. Yes, indeed. How about that? Hammerhedd making their debut on the channel. That's head with 2 D's, by the way. Yeah, Hammerhedd, head with 2 D's. Interesting. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all the clicks and the likes and the bibbity-boobity bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Kevin Sorensen, and Kevin wanted to see me react to this song by Hammerhedd called Disturbance.
There is a great disturbance in the force.
I have felt it.
Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a minute, hang on, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This was posted by Hammerhedd, okay? And the video has 796,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Hammerhedd. See? 2 D's. What'd I tell you? Disturbance live at Westport Oktoberfest. Cool. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Okay.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Believe it or not, there are some things I'm hearing that I I hesitate to say the word like, but I can appreciate. It sounds tight. And the reason I'm saying it sounds tight is because whatever they're using, whoever the person is filming this, I don't know if they're using a camcorder or a phone or whatever, the mic is being so overdriven that hearing any melodic notes is pretty much impossible. Okay, let's just call a spade here. Now, is that the band's fault? To some extent, yes, it is. They should be a little more aware of their surroundings. They should be a little more aware of their mix. I don't know if they're setting up their own mix. Maybe they are, or maybe it's being run by someone, helping out, or maybe there's an actual crew that's working the boards. If that's the case, whoever's working the boards needs to be shot. The sound quality is just god-awful. It is horrible. Having said that, the reason I'm saying it sounds tight is this. Every attack is together, and it's clean, and it is tight. And I can say that because you can hear every single attack. You can. The attacks are present, which means the guitar and the bass and the drums playing together in sync, in unison. Those syncopated attacks, those syncopated subdivisions, they're coming through clean. I can hear the attacks, which means they're all playing exactly together. So there is definitely talent here. I do see the talent. I can hear the talent. As far as playing cleanly goes. Are they playing the right notes? I have no idea. Are they playing the right chords? I have no idea. I can't hear any notes. All I hear are attacks. I hear the drumming, and I hear the attack from the bass and the guitar together, but that's all I can hear. The sound quality in this video is horrible. Absolutely horrible. Whoever's running that board needs to be shot. And whoever's filming this really needs to think about upgrading their audio recording equipment because it is being severely overdriven. Maybe think about repositioning yourself. Maybe not in front of one of maybe not parking yourself right in front of one of the PA boxes, and maybe put yourself a little more central so you're not getting blasted directly into the mic. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's keep going here. Okay, on this breakdown section, not so much from an audio standpoint, but from a visual standpoint, I'm seeing some pretty good things. This kid, the guitarist slash lead vocalist, he's a front man. He's absolutely a front man. When the opportunity came for him to lead the crowd, he did not hesitate. He jumped right up there, hands in the air. And here's the thing. He's got the charisma to convince the crowd to follow along. There's no rules that say the crowd has to follow along. If the crowd's not buying it, if the crowd's not buying into whatever the lead vocalist is selling, they're not going to respond. But he's got the charisma, enough charisma that he got, not everybody in the crowd, but I'd say he got about half of the crowd to get their hands up and pump their fists in the air with him and doing the hey, hey, hey with him as well. So give him time, and I'm sure it's going to get even better. Confidence is a big thing. He's got confidence, but I'm sure in time, given more opportunities to perform in front of more crowds, iron sharpening iron, maybe playing with some bands that will help him, give him some pointers, be a good influence. I don't see any reason why he couldn't eventually get the entire crowd going into it. He's definitely a front man. The bass player. Awkward. He's awkward. Okay, let's call a spade a spade. He's doing his best, but he looks like he really doesn't 100% know what he's doing from a stage presence standpoint. He can play. I'm watching his picking technique. I wish he would focus more on the downstrokes with his picking, because he's doing down. He starts downs. He does all downs like the first half of the measure, but then he switches to down, up, down, up, down, up. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Why? You were doing so good with the downs. I mean, obviously, if it's too fast, you do what you got to do. But here's the thing. He was doing downs for the first half of the measure. Da, 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 and then he went to 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. And I'm like, why? And he does it like every time. I mean, if you can do the first half of the measure with all downs, just stick to doing all downs. But anyway, as far as his stage presence goes, I don't think he's found himself yet. I don't think he's found his stage persona yet. He's still looking. He's still figuring it out. And that's okay. That's okay. Look, it's going to happen. Not everybody, when they jump up on stage for the first time, knows their persona and visualizes their persona and has their persona worked out. It takes time. That takes time to build. God, it took me years to come up with my stage persona, how I move around the stage, how I act on the stage, how I interact with band members on the stage, how I interact with the crowd on the stage. That took me years, decades. I eventually got it, but it took a while, so I'm not expecting that right this very second. You know what I mean? I'm sure he'll get it. The drummer, as far as musicianship goes, from a musicianship standpoint, I feel like the drummer's probably the most talented guy in the band. He's done some great fills. He is rock solid with his playing. I'm not hearing any problems with his playing whatsoever. And every single time that they've gone into that decelerando, where they've slowed down the tempo a little bit, he has been very smooth. It has not felt janky. It has not felt sudden. It has not felt abrupt. It has been smooth as glass every single time. That is not easy to do. So I think the drummer is the talent. I think the lead vocalist is the charisma / persona. And the bass player, I think, is going to find his place. Now, looking back on this channel, there is another band I have reacted to with 3 kids when they were first starting out. And I said a lot of the same things about those 3 kids that I'm saying about these 3 kids. Coincidence? Maybe. Then again, maybe there are some parallels here. That's another possibility. Anyway, let's continue here. Let's try to finish this out. We got about a little under 2.5. Let's see if we can just finish this out. ripped out his earplugs. Okay. I don't blame you. I don't like using earplugs either. In-ears are different. Not bad. Not bad. Even with the poor sound quality. See, here's the problem. Here's the problem right here. This guy is filming, or this person, I don't know who's filming this, but whoever this person is literally filming right in front of the PA speakers. That's why the sound quality is so poor. Man, if this person who was filming had just parked himself over here somewhere, I guarantee you the sound quality would be better. I guarantee you. Having said that, though, still saw some good things, still heard some good things, and we're going to talk about all of them. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Hammerhedd with Disturbance. This was a request from Kevin Sorensen. Okay, I have a score. I thought about it, and before I give my score, I just need to clarify a couple of things. Number one, the sound quality. Did I take the sound quality into account? No, I did not. Listen, I think we can all agree the sound quality on this was absolute garbage, okay? I think we can all agree on that. Is that the band's fault? No, it is absolutely not the band's fault. If I'm going to point the finger at anybody, the first person I'm going to point the finger at is the person who's doing the filming. So I don't know who that person was, but whoever that person is really needs to understand that when you're filming, doesn't matter if you're using a phone, a camcorder, whatever, it doesn't matter how good your equipment is. If you're filming directly in front of a PA speaker, your mic is going to get overdriven. I don't care how good your equipment is. Unless you got a seriously top-end condenser mic with all of the coverings and the wind protection and everything else, then possibly, maybe, you might be able to get a decent recording out of it. But, man, seriously, who parks in front of a PA speaker to film? Not a smart move. So do I blame the band? No, absolutely not. I do not blame the band at all. Second thing, when I give the score, a lot of people are probably going to be pretty taken back by it. and they might get the impression that I'm attacking these kids. And the truth of the matter is, no, I'm not attacking them. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be giving them a lot of praise. But here's the thing, and this is, I love this argument. I love it when people use this argument. But they're kids. You're criticizing kids. You're being so hard on these kids. Okay, number one, these kids have no idea who I am. They have no idea I exist. And I guarantee you, they do not care one bit what I have to say, okay? They're gonna do their thing. And in all honesty, if they're gonna take what I have to say to heart, I wonder who else they're listening to take their advice to heart. Man, no, the only people these kids should be listening to are their parents, plain and simple. If they have a manager, which they might, listen to him too. But people like me, nah, they really shouldn't really pay a whole lot of attention to what I have to say. Unless they want to take it in a professional manner, as this is meant to be. And the reason I'm saying this is because I'm going to hold these kids to the exact same standards that I would hold any other band. Why? Because that is how the music industry works. The music industry does not care if these kids are 10, 20, 50, or 80. The music industry does not care about age. I wish people would understand this. They really don't care. They care about one thing and one thing only. Can we profit off of this? Can we make money off of this? That is all they care about. They do not care if these kids are 12 or 22 or 200. I mean, they really do not care, okay? So I am going to hold these kids to the exact same standards as I would hold any other band, okay? I don't care how old they are, because the music industry does not care how old they are. So for those of you who are thinking about it in the comments going, how dare you criticize these children? Please keep those two things in mind, okay? Please, let's do me a favor, seriously. Now, having said all that, let's get to the score and let's get to my explanations. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give that a 7.4. Yep, 7.4. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Now, I'm going to do my best to keep this part short and sweet because I'm going to be all I'm going to be doing is saying the exact same things that I said during the course of the reaction. So I really don't want to go into a 10-minute explanation. I'm going to do my best to keep this quick. Bullet points, bullet points, bullet points, closing argument. So, like I said, the sound quality, I don't count that against the band. That is not their fault. Unfortunately, as a result of that sound quality, I wasn't really able to hear any melodics. I wasn't able to hear any harmonics. I wasn't really able to hear any chords. I wasn't really able to hear any notes whatsoever. Having said that, I was able to hear the attacks. I was able to hear the unison attacks. They all came in together. Now, here's where things get interesting. Because I was able to hear those attacks in this poor audio quality, that can mean only one thing, and that one thing is this: they must have been playing together, and it must have been tight, because it sounded tight. It sounded like the guitar and the bass and the drums all came in together at the exact same spots at the exact same times. They were locked in with each other. At least that's how it sounded to me. It sounded really good. It sounded really tight from that end. So obviously these kids know how to count. Obviously these kids know how to syncopate. Obviously these kids know how to play together. So that is a good sign right there. I really couldn't hear the song at all from a melodic standpoint, from a notational standpoint. I did hear the subdivisions. I did hear the changes in feel. I even heard the changes in tempo when they were doing those decelerandos, and that is a big deal as to how they got this score. That is not easy to do, okay? I know a lot of people are like, oh, they're just slowing down. Yeah, they're all slowing down, but here's the thing. None of them are using in-ears, which means they all are playing to each other. The guitarist and the bassist are locked in with the drummer. The drummer is locked in with the bass player. They're all playing together, and they are all decelerando-ing together. Very smooth, not janky, not sudden, not abrupt. It was a smooth decelerando every single time. Clearly well rehearsed. Good for them. Especially in an outdoor setting, not easy to do, and without in-ears. My goodness, good on them. From a visual standpoint, they all have their roles. The drummer clearly is the talent. I mean, it's from a musicianship standpoint, he is definitely the most talented musician out of the three. Nice drumming, really nice drumming. Solid. Nothing I would say was super impressive other than the playing around with the tempo and making it as smooth as he did. Great use of cymbal chokes. I appreciated that he didn't just keep letting the cymbals ring, except the ride, but you want the ride to ring, so that's fine. The bass player, I'm gonna get to him at the end. The guitar player, clearly the front man, clearly the most charismatic and animated person in the band. He without question he's got that it factor. He really does. And here's the thing, you can't teach that. You could try, you could give people pointers, you could give people direction, but it's up to the person you're trying to help. It's up to them to take what you're saying and internalize it and make it a part of themselves. We're literally talking about changing the way you think and act. Not an easy thing to do, believe me, okay? So and to me, it just looked very natural. When he came up to the front of the stage on that one break, and he had his hands in the air and he was pumping them and trying to get the crowd involved, doing the crowd interaction. I'm gonna be honest with you folks, when I saw him do that, I groaned internally. I was like, oh no, oh no. Please tell me there's at least 4 or 5 people in the crowd following along with him. And I saw like 2 people at the front and I was like, oh no, oh no. But then the camera panned and we saw more people. About half of the crowd was into it. You know what? When you're a band first starting out, which I have a feeling this is early days, or then again, maybe this is recent, maybe there's a brand new band. I don't know, but this looked young and this looked pretty inexperienced. But still, being able to capture about half of the crowd and get them to interact with you at that age, you're onto something. You're definitely onto something. I see a bright future for that kid, the guitarist and vocalist. I really do. He's got natural charisma and it shines through. The bass player. Okay. Awkward. I think that's the best way to describe him. Solid bass playing. Absolutely solid bass playing. I didn't hear anything off with what he was playing. I wish he had really stuck to downstrokes with his picking instead of going, he started out with the first 16th notes, the first 2 sets of 16th notes, the first 8 of them, he was doing all downstrokes. And then the second half of the measure, the next 8 16th notes, he went down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And I was like, oh, why? If you could do the first half all downstrokes, there's no reason to switch it up. I really wish he had set to all downs. I think it might have been a little more impactful. But here's the thing. Even with going down, up, it still sounded tight. So did that affect the tone? Possibly, but I couldn't hear the tone because the audio quality was so bad. But I heard the attacks, and the attacks were solid. As far as his stage presence goes, he hasn't found himself yet. You could see it. He was looking around the stage, wandering around the stage a little bit. Kind of looked like he was a little bit lost up there. I think with time, I think he will come to discover his stage persona. I think he needs to work on it, obviously. He needs to figure out who he is on stage. He needs to figure out his role. He needs to figure out within his own personality, does he want to have himself on stage or does he want to create a persona like a lot of other musicians, myself included, do? And once he does that, he'll work on it, he'll refine it, he'll sharpen that saw, and he will have it eventually. Give it time. I'm sure it's going to come through. Right now, a little awkward. If I'm being honest with you, it looked a little weird. So, taking all these things into account, this is how I came up with the 7.4. Okay, it's a really good score. It's not a bad score by any stretch. We may have new people on the channel who have no idea what that 7.4 actually stands for. Let me put you all at ease. Okay, a 7.4 by definition is a really good score. Anything from 7.0 to 7.9 is defined as really good. It's not bad. I go all the way down to 0. So, and believe me, I have given zeros. So no, 7.4 is a really good score. I do see a lot of potential. For those of you who have been following the channel for a long time, you may have noticed that a lot of the things I was saying about the individual members of the band parallel another band, another 3-piece band on this channel that I've done a number of reactions to. Do I think that these boys are going to get the same level of success and exposure that those other 3 girls got? Well, time will tell. I mean, you look back at the Warning's early stuff, and I mean, let's be honest, folks. Some of that early stuff was kind of cringe too, okay? So, but still, I've never heard anything I would say was horrible from them, and so far, I can't say I've heard anything horrible from these guys either. So, time will tell. Maybe they'll have the same success as that other band. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Who knows? Time will tell. But in any case, 7.4, I feel good with that score, and that is where we're going to stay. So, 7.4, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.